What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Man, I'm trying to understand how we went from kind of chilly to actually hot. I don't really need this fire out here because it was like 90 degrees today. It's going to be in the 90s tomorrow. We went from like 0 to 60 just like that. But it is what it is. Um, Let me say thoughts and prayers out to Stacy Schubert. She lost her only sister this Wednesday um, from Graves' disease, only 55 years old. I always say, make sure you tell somebody you love that you love them because you might not get that chance again. It's kind of breezy out here tonight. Tonight was cool because we ended up doing my man DMV. Shout out to DMV coming through. We did a hot wing challenge, and I know that there's going to be clips from that from tonight where we had all kinds of different hot sauces, scorpion pepper, Carolina Reapers, and habaneros. My stomach is rumbling, and I'm hoping I can get through this video before I gotta run back in and take care of business because I drank about a half a gallon of milk to try and ease this thing. It was bad. It was bad, but it was for a good cause. We raised $1,400 for Stewart's home rebuild tonight, and that's a great feeling to at least get past this food baby that's hot sauced out in my belly. A couple things that are kind of interesting. Jalen Tolbert. The boys at Pro Football Focus have named him one of the breakout players for 2022. Reason being is because Michael Gallup's probably not going to be ready to start the season. Which you look at that and say, he's going to get an opportunity right away to play. We've heard that the coaches thus far have been very, very impressed with what he's been doing thus far in practice, and the thought is he could take the number 2 spot, wide receiver, run with it, and start the season and never let it go. And that's possible. But I gotta say that everybody is potentially a breakout player, aren't they? It's like saying a guy is an MVP candidate. Well, everybody's an MVP candidate, aren't they? I mean, can't anybody play to the potential of being the best player? Right? So he's a breakout candidate. Well, of course he is. But so is John Ridgeway. He's a potential to be a breakout player. He could come in and end up playing lights out and become a starter and potentially being a breakout player, right? Isn't Sam Williams a potentially breakout player? A guy who's, 6'4" and 260 pounds and running a 4.46 that can bend the edge and comes with some authority. Couldn't he potentially be a breakout player? It's the off season. It's the off season where we look to try and have something to talk about. It's funny because tonight I was before the show, and shout out to everybody who came in and donated. I was watching or reading, should the Cowboys pursue Ndamukong Suh? Well, he is a free agent. He is a run stopper. There's a need there, and so on. Well, you could say there's a lot of guys that the Cowboys should pursue, but they don't. Why? Because the Cowboys are cheap. They're so cheap. Shout out to Stuart Morrison sharing this clip from the Rich Eisen show, where a former offensive lineman for the Cowboys put it out there how cheap the Cowboys are. They're so cheap that they don't even pay for lunch for their players. They literally charge the players $150 a week for lunch. You can say there's a lot of guys that the Cowboys should pursue, because I look at this and say, had the Cowboys pursued somebody better than Ty Nsekhe last year to replace Tyron Smith when he goes out, that could have been the difference of them being the number one seed and maybe of winning a few playoff games and going to a Super Bowl. You could look and say, well, hell, they could pursue a couple of playmakers, like they could have this year. Here's what's crazy. I started the morning with this. If you think about the Cowboys right now, after getting the free agents that they've signed, their own, and signing the rookie class, which they have, except for one, that they still have $12.5 million plus another $10 million that's coming. That they could have signed Von Miller, Zadarius Smith, and Bobby Wagner. 3 players that they could have pursued to help them be in a better position right now. All for that $12.5 million. Cowboys aren't going to do that. Stephen Jones is cheap. Cowboys organization is cheap. Generally speaking, most businesses that make a lot of money, that are Fortune 500 companies, guess what? They don't do it by giving shit away. They do it by getting the most out of their workers and, in a way, screwing them to the wall. It's hard to be a Fortune 500 company and being a great owner to your players, or your employees. It just is. That's the reason why the Cowboys are the most valuable franchise in the world. They know how to screw the players. So there's that. And I could look and say the Cowboys have been better than average at drafting players and finding talent where other teams don't. Their problem is you can't do that solely and have enough to get over the hump. You need to be able to have a good swing tackle for Tyron Smith. You need to have good special teams players. You need to have a good kicker. All these little pieces that we say we can penny pinch on are the things that are killing the Cowboys when it comes crunch time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. In the end, you can't win if you don't have the talent when you need it. And that, my friends, is the ultimate problem for the Cowboys. They lack the talent because of injuries. They end up valuing a few guys that are great players that make your team great. But the problem is they lose a couple of them, and then they go to guys, like I said, Ty Nsekhe. And there's a major drop-off from Tyron Smith and Ty Nsekhe. There needs to be a delicate balance in between those two if you're going to win it all. And right now my stomach is growling, and I think I've got to go take care of some business here. But I want to say thank you, because I've got the best fans in the world. You are truly family to me, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And I know Stuart Morrison definitely appreciates each and every one of y'all. And with that being said, make sure you tell, I need to turn the lights on, tell someone you love how much you love them, because you might not get the chance to again. I appreciate y'all, and I love all y'all. Have a great night, and God willing, I'll see you in the morning.